Aha! Yes, I have some questions for those uh, alleged brilliant superintendents leading our school districts across our great nation who think they're educational leaders and they are doing right by reason of the students and the teachers that they claim to serve while selling us all out and our educational system by reason of using bots to grade our standardized tests to save millions of dollars. Let's ask some questions here for you as you dive into this unfair and inaccurate test score system whereby our standardized tests are graded by bots in this unethical, discriminatory, and monetary motivated educational system, which is failing schools, teachers, and students alike. First question. If the artificial intelligence computer bots do not recognize words written in a foreign language or informal dialogue, to what extent are international bilingual students learning English as a second language at a disadvantage when taking standardized tests graded by bots? Second question. Given 25% of these Texas standardized tests graded by bots had to be rescored by humans, how much confidence does the large margin of error give you in the ability of artificial intelligence to accurately, fairly, and equitably grade all students on these important tests? And it's worth noting in the state of Texas, if a student or a parent does not agree and questions the validity and the accuracy and the integrity of the grade that their child received on a standardized test, they can file an appeal and ask for a rescoring of that test with the Texas Education Agency, known as TEA, and they must pay a $50 fee to do so. But if the new score comes back higher than the original initial score that the bot gave the child, the parent, the fee is waived and the parent doesn't have to pay the $50. But nonetheless, a lot of parents living on a small budget in this inflationary economy where everything is priced beyond reach don't have $50 to spare when they need to feed their children. And many of them have several kids, and they are scraping and struggling to get by on multiple jobs. Many people don't have $50 to send to the Texas Education Agency or give it to them via credit card just to challenge a test score. Nonetheless, that's how the system works. Number 3, which is more funny or frightening? The fact state agencies tasked with educating youth are more interested in saving money than hiring educated test graders, or the fact AI bots are grading open-ended questions that are intended to cultivate critical thinking skills and encourage students to write persuasively in their own voice with originality and authenticity, rather than answer test questions like robots, as typically occurs on multiple choice questions. So we're programming our kids to think like robots, to game the test and to do well in the test, while selling their souls and their hearts and their minds in the process. Number 4, do you think state departments of education and their respective agencies like Texas Education Agency should be governed and answerable to federal regulations and agencies, or held accountable to some unbiased third-party organization who audits them for ethics and fairness and equity in their educational assessments, instructional practices, and pedagogy ideology? Question number 5. Will standardized tests and them being graded by computer bots discourage teachers and students from engaging in critical thinking, sharing their own voice and views, and expressing their ideas freely, to instead study for and memorize predetermined test questions and answers? Lastly, do you think future lawsuits from errors, inequality, fairness, and ethics violations of using bots to grade standardized tests in schools will end up costing departments of education across the states of our great nation, our United States supposedly, Will that possibly, these lawsuits, end up costing us more than the money we are saving to replace human graders to score our exams correctly, as we have done in past generations, to now use bots and save millions of dollars while selling our educational system and students and teachers out? Something to think about as we proceed forward and get excited about the prospects of AI and letting robots grade us and dictate to us how things should be done.